Gemini, this is your tarot reading for the month of June. Most people's have been a work in progress, indicative of more to come. I think yours is as well, you know. Yeah, I think June is a work in progress. You look at that central card, it suggests you're carrying a burden, maybe the burden of the world on your shoulders. You're finding it a struggle, but you know there's an end in sight. A bottom right suggests you've been a bit miserly with money. Maybe I'm wrong to interpret it that way in these difficult times, as we all need to be careful right now. The current energy is that of justice rather than judgment. There's certainly karmic judgment about, but this is justice. Could even be a court case. For you or against you? I think it's in your favour. We'll see. The future, you go inside yourself looking for answers, which is the best place to find them. But during this month, some of the other zodiac signs have been told that they're prone to misinterpreting it. The energy that leads to the outcome is an energy of having to take a difficult decision. A decision that there seems no right or wrong, no preference for, you cannot separate them. What would change the outcome is, and I need to be careful on this, I always call it the single mother card, and then promptly say you don't have to be a parent or female. Well, it's certainly an energy of caring and nurturing. In another zodiac sign this month, the linking of that Ten of Wands, that carrying the burden, and this Queen of Pentacles seem to be important. I wonder if it is for you. And I speak of this change in the outcome and the decision leading to the outcome. The outcome is the Emperor, strong, powerful authority figure. I'm sure we're talking about you, which is surely positive, but then why would you later become the hermit, going inside yourself looking for answers? It's as though you're not quite certain even of yourself, which I would say is a very strong theme that flows throughout this month. Let's look in a bit more detail. Now, the overall energy is the Ten of Wands. Now, something that's very apparent in all of the readings for June is that of cycles coming to an end and new ones beginning. And this is indicative of an end being in sight. You're carrying a burden, a huge burden. It could simply be family, people you feel responsible for. But I wonder if it's more than that, if you feel responsibility for the world, as it were, for the ills of the world. Certainly I would suggest that this reading is about you examining yourself, examining your lifestyle, and examining how you need to change, because change is definitely coming. Yeah, and there is quite a strong indication that that's exactly what you do. In the past, we have an energy of being careful with money. I often describe this as being miserly, but we live in such strange times, almost that the uncertainty is designed to create something. And the common people do, I think, need to be somewhat careful over money. Such uncertainty is clearly designed so that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but we all need to be careful. So I'm not so negative about this energy here. It may be telling us something, though, about, as I say, I think you need to examine yourself and your lifestyle. And it may be a hint at what you need to examine. theme we've been getting a lot recently is that of judgment, karmic judgment. But this is one of justice, and this has been cropping up this month. Is it to do with world events? Because certainly people are being exposed for their wrongdoing. People are being taken to court. People are even being jailed for it. Or is this entirely personal to you? I mean, it could be that you're going to be punished, but somehow I feel no. I feel that it's going in your favour, but I couldn't be sure of that. I mean, if it is about sort of you being punished, it'll be firm but fair, and of course I've said it is about reflecting on your lifestyle, and maybe that would be a part of it, but I still feel that it's not something negative against you. Now we have the future, so after this month, you become the hermit. Interesting. Look at this rendering. He's turning his back on the City of London. Turning his back on materialism. Is that important? That would tie in with the being careful with money, wouldn't it? Yeah. Going inside himself, looking for answers. As though the answers that you currently have aren't the right ones. And this is very much a recurring theme this month, that we're going through such change that our beliefs are regularly being challenged and shattered and changed. And I don't think this is an end to it, you know. I'd love to say that once you've gone inside yourself, you'll have the answers, but the change is so dramatic and regular that I think we'll have to keep reflecting and have to keep changing our views. I do see it as a very positive energy, an energy that's necessary right now. The energy that leads to the outcome is an energy of having to take a decision. It's an important decision, but it's one that you feel ill-equipped to take. One whereby both options seem equally good or equally bad. One that you don't feel you have the full information, and I think that describes most of us at this moment in time in the world. There's just so much going on that we find it impossible to know which way we should turn. And I think that is how you're feeling. The outcome, I would normally see as a positive outcome, but because we've had the Hermit card before it, maybe it isn't. But this does lead to the outcome. Yeah. Do you know what? I think you do take the decision, and the decision you take is business as usual, which was probably the wrong decision. Probably. Yeah. Change the outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Nurturing energy, an energy of responsibility for others. An energy maybe of you struggling with those responsibilities somewhat. I always see it as an energy whereby you feel that you're struggling and not doing such a good job, but other people think that you're doing very well. I mean, it could be entirely personal. I often call it the single mother card because it's that sort of energy. But are these dependents that you have? It could well be, you know, could well be family, could well be friends you feel responsible for. But I think you feel responsible for more than that. I think you're taking some of the burden of the world. We can only create change by focusing on those things that we can immediately affect, really. So whilst it's admirable to feel this sense of responsibility towards others, and I'm sure it's the right thing to do, we affect change by being happy within ourselves and looking at the small things that we can make an impact on. And the outcome is the Emperor. I'm sure that's you. Normally I'd see this very positively. But of course we do have this doubt creeping in the future, the Hermit. He's very strong, he's very powerful. He's somewhat conservative, looked up to by others almost as a father figure. And I'm sure that's you. I'm sure that what you're doing though is, I said it was about you having to take a decision and it was difficult to know which. I think the decision you took was to keep doing things as you already have, whereas this month is trying to challenge that, and you do end up being challenged by it, the Hermit. You're allowing your behaviour of the past to dictate your behaviour of the future, and at a time of massive change, that probably isn't the right thing to be doing. And these are just feelings that I've got about this spread. But I think we can summarise for you now, Gemini. Gemini, we live in times of unprecedented change. We live in times whereby your very core beliefs are being challenged. And I'm sure that's what's happening during this month of June. It's a work in progress. It doesn't get resolved. Even in the future, I think you're going to have to keep changing your belief system, because the change is going to keep coming, massive change. And in the past, I think you were being a little bit careful with money, and I think to a certain degree, this reading is about wealth, and it's not unnatural to be careful with money at times of massive change. But the overall energy is that of you burdening, shouldering a huge responsibility. But being aware that times are changing and that maybe that will alter soon. It could be a responsibility just towards your loved ones, those close to you, but I get the very distinct feeling you feel a responsibility towards humanity. No bad thing, but you can't really affect change for the whole of creation. Just take out those little bits that you can affect yourself. There is a justice coming. I think it's in your favour. It could be against you, and it could be that challenges your beliefs. It's not. I don't think it's having a major impact on you, except in terms of what do you believe, and you do have a decision to make, an important decision, but you don't feel equipped to take it because none of us feel that we have all of the information to make such huge decisions. But I think you opt for the tried and tested. I think you opt for what you've always known. And that sees you emerging as a sort of conservative, fatherly figure. But later on, you have misgivings about that and go inside yourself. Should I be turning my back on materialism? I'm thinking of broader things, thinking of the community, as it were. And I think, that is the theme. You see, had you taken on some more responsibility for others, it would have changed the trajectory. I don't think it matters because we really are in such massive change. Things will keep changing. So whatever you do, the one constant will be change, including changing your beliefs. But it's clear that June is going to be fundamental in challenging your beliefs.